Hey there. My name is Art Wright, and I'm the pastor here at Williamsburg Baptist Church in historic Williamsburg, Virginia. We are moving into the heart of stewardship season here at Williamsburg Baptist Church. Some of our key leaders have been working for weeks and even months now on preparing a budget for the coming year. And on October 22nd, we'll vote on that budget together at our third quarter business meeting. Would love for you to attend and participate in that if you can. The way our particular church works is that we use a pledge system. What that means is we will pass our budget, and then we, as members and regular visitors and guests, will pledge our financial support towards that budget for the year ahead. My wife and I, for example, will look at our budget, our income and expenses, and childcare needs and medical bills, and then we'll decide how much we can pledge to give each month towards the life of the church. Some of us within the congregation give weekly, some of us monthly, and some even yearly. It's important for me to share with you as pastor that I don't know who gives what or how much anyone pledges. And so your pledge and your ability to contribute financially to the life of this church has no effect on my relationship with you and certainly not with God. If I had to guess, I would guess that we are run the gamut in terms of what we do and can contribute financially speaking, probably from 50 or $100 a month to $1,000 a month or more. And some of us may not be able to support the church financially, but we contribute our time and energy and gifts, or just by showing up. Your presence really does matter here each and every week. The key in my mind, whoever we are, is intentionality, to take time to pray and be deliberate in thinking about how we can support the ministry of this community of faith in the coming year. I will be honest, I'm always a little bit nervous talking about money, whether it's from the pulpit or here in a recorded video. But I'm trying to reframe it how I think about it in my mind that makes me more comfortable with it. As pastor, I'm not asking you to give money to the church. I am as pastor, my role is to remind all of us that what it means to be a part of Williamsburg Baptist in the year 2023 is that we pool our collective resources together so that we, in turn, as a community, can do some amazing things in Williamsburg and beyond. And this is part of what it makes us as a community a transformative presence in the world. And week in and week out, we really see this. We sense God is at work among us. Y'all really are making a difference. In this past year alone, we have welcomed more than a dozen new individuals and members and families as members to this congregation. And I would dare say just as many, if not more, who are now regular guests and friends and visitors of this church. Our doors are open and people keep showing up. And that's a great sign that God's Spirit is at work among us. Just a handful of weeks ago, we made more than 10,000 meals to feed people through a Rise Against Hunger event. It's just one of the many things I could point to that show our mission council and our congregation are active and at work and serving as the presence of Christ in our community and in the world. We host a board game night once a month for Love is Love Tidewater, and dozens of folks come to our South Wing each month for this, where they find a safe space where they can get to know one another and build relationships in the midst of a culture and in a world that is oftentimes still hostile to them. They step into our church and feel like they can let their guard down and just be themselves. What a gift. Because we have been growing, our deacons identified relationship building as one of our main needs this past year, and we started our first Sunday potlucks, and they have been a tremendous success. The last I heard, Tom and Frank were talking about buying more tables for our social hall because we ran out of space at our last potluck. That's a good problem that a lot of churches would love to have. In this past year, our Christian education has grown by leaps and bounds. We've seen a tremendous increase in participation, and we've been intentional in welcoming new leadership to the table. And we're really excited where that's heading in the year ahead. And of course, week in and week out, we gather for worship. And we find that our time together reminds us that we are part of something bigger than ourselves, that there's a reason and a purpose for each of us to be here. I don't think it's a coincidence that you and I are a part of Williamsburg Baptist Church as we stand on the threshold to the year 2024, which sounds an awful lot like the future. My hunch is that as we look ahead to this new year, God will continue to amaze us. We knew from the outset that 2023 was going to be a hard year financially. For those of you who are newer, you may not know that we had a Sprint tower that was paying us about $25,000 a year to host equipment for them in our spire. And that lease came to an end through no fault of our own. And of course, our endowment has been able to contribute less this past year due to market fluctuations. And so we knew making the budget for 2023 that we were looking at a $50,000 mountain to climb. And we have surely felt that challenge in significant ways in this past year. And yet I continue to marvel how God has provided for us as a community and continues to sustain and grow this community of faith. We, as Williamsburg Baptist Church, are a vital presence in this community. And from my point of view, 2024 looks awfully bright. We have entitled our stewardship campaign, "The Sky's the Limit." And it's supposed to be a little bit playful, maybe a little bit tongue-in-cheek on my part. But the idea is that as people of faith, we should lean into faith and trust that the God who we see at work among us is going to continue to amaze and surprise us. Isaiah 40:31 says, "Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will fly up on wings like eagles. They will run and not be tired. They will walk and not be weary." And sure enough, we continue to see God sending wind and spirit beneath our wings to lift us as a people to be the presence of Christ in this community. Pledge Sunday is November 12th, and so I would like to invite you to be deliberate in these weeks ahead and reflecting, what does this church mean to you? What impact might it have in our community and in the world? And how can you contribute to the life of this congregation with your time and talents and treasure? I would encourage you to pray and consult your budget and talk to your loved ones. And let's dream together about what it might look like to be Williamsburg Baptist Church in the year 2024. I want you to know that I'm awfully proud to be your pastor, and I can't wait to see what's in store next for us. Thank you so much for taking time to listen to this video. God bless.